Heyo, it's me, Harper Savage, and today is the start of 12 days of arts and coffees. Now we have little Chibi over here to the side. I don't know what's up. He just wants to stay here for some reason. So that's where he's gonna stay until he gets annoyed and leaves. But 12 days of arts and coffees is basically I try 12 different coffees. Here's the coffee roster this year. And I also do an art or craft along with it. Now, my arts and crafts are not necessarily going to be 100% holiday themed. They may be just winter themed or something that I like, because I'm not a huge, holiday person. Oh, and Chibi's finally leaving after I tried to get him to leave for 10 minutes. These are the coffee flavors I'll be trying out this year. I'll also be using here and there, not 100%, but I'll be using this Artiso advent calendar that I unboxed in another video. Go check that out if you haven't yet. But I will be using the supplies in here. There's a lot of new supplies to me, and Artiso's brand is new to me in general. I've never tried out their products before, so I wanted to give them a shot. And today we're actually going to be using something from the advent calendar. But first we have to go and make our coffee. Today's flavor of coffee that we're going to be trying is Cinnamon Subway Cinnamon Flavored Coffee by Brooklyn Bean Roastery. I think that's what that says. Here is all the flavors and branding on the back if you wanted to take a closer look at it. Here's a K-cup. Here's the mug. No, we need a bigger mug than that. Here's the mug. This cup actually says I'm down to just 1 cup a day. That's so funny. Alright, here's our coffee. I put half and half in it and 2 sweetener packets. I can definitely smell the cinnamon. Let's give it a try. I think maybe the half and half took over any cinnamon flavor it had to it because it just tastes like bitter coffee to me. Next time I won't add as much. But so far I would say, because it's not bad tasting, that it's a win for me. I'll be drinking that here and there. Today I thought we could go ahead and use some supplies in the advent calendar here. I don't know how I'm gonna open this without everything falling out of it though, because I already opened it once. Oh, okay. Not that bad, not that bad. Not anything fell out, just the little card thingy. So I'm thinking about using these 2 useless circular canvases? Canvases? Is that the word? Today, if I can get them out. Oh my Jesus. Oh my gosh. Gib. Oh my gosh. Gib. Could use the ribbon, that might help. There we go. So this is what I pulled out from the advent calendar. I may or may not use all of these. We'll see. I basically pulled out any of the paints that didn't say watercolor or oil on them. So let's go ahead and get these open and started. Alright, we are ready to paint. I'm gonna start with this gouache, but I'll have no idea how to seal it up once I'm done. And just mix it because I see a layer of oil on top here. I'm guessing that's something they didn't really think through, is how are you gonna seal this once you open it? I'll have to figure something out. I'm also gonna be using the fancy schmancy, oh god, bean frame. Also gonna be using this fancy schmancy paint brush that came in the advent calendar. Gonna peel this off of here. I'm gonna paint both of the canvases. I'm gonna try my best to not get my background all messy though. It has 11 more days to go before I can get rid of it. I want to keep it as neat as possible until then. That's one. So my understanding of gouache is that it's somewhere in between acrylic and watercolor, where you can reactivate it and spread it out with water without it kind of messing up the paint. Because I use water to thin out acrylic sometimes, and it does make the acrylic not act the way it should. And I'm kind of impressed with this so far. I only see a little bit of streaking, not a whole lot. Alright, I'm gonna wait for these to dry before I continue on here. I went ahead and put another layer down in between cuts here just to make sure it was fully covered. And now what I want to do is I want to add modeling paste. Now, I had to look up how to use this because I've never used it before. But essentially you can use it as a thickening agent for your paints, or you could just use it as is. I'm gonna use it to like make a 3D effect on my little cookies here. If I didn't say before, I'm making these into cookies. Just to be cute and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this. Apparently you can add paint into it, or you can paint it later, and you can even sand it. I don't know if you can sand this one, but the particular video I looked up said you can sand it and cut it and stuff. So I thought that was interesting. I'm just gonna squeeze it out into my little thingy here. I don't know how much I'm gonna need. And you can apply it with a knife. I think I might actually use a paintbrush to have a bit more control, but we'll try a knife first. Mix it up. Should just put it right onto the cookie. What was I thinking? I'm gonna kind of use it like icing on a cookie. Like, I don't want it to be perfectly smooth, but I want it to be smooth. Like, I tried to smooth it out, but it's, you know, icing, so you don't expect it to be perfect. Now I'm gonna do the other one. I don't know if I want to make these exactly matching, but I squidged all this out, so I better use it. I also have no idea how long this is going to take to dry with how thick of a layer I'm putting on here. And some of the paint is coming back off because it is, you know, gouache, so it reactivates to moisture, so I have to keep that in mind next time. Alright, so I got some goodies to put into our icing here. I got me some seed beads. Oh gosh, so many seed beads. They look like little sugars on top. Oh man, I poured out way too many. And some pearls too that I'm gonna put in here. And hope that they stay. And for this one, got some glitter. Probably would have looked nicer if I had mixed it into the modeling paste, but I didn't think things through, clearly. And I also want to add some of these little stars. Oh no, now it looks like a flag. Red, white, and blue. Ugh. Probably should have gotten out the tweezers or something. Now while we wait on those cookies to dry, we're going to be making a plate for them to go on with my little wooden panel here from the dollar store. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to use this side or if I want to use this side and use like those edges as the lips of a plate or something, but then I'd have to sand because these are not nicely done edges in here. I don't have anything to sand with in my room, so this side it is. First we gotta gesso it. I'm just using Artist Loft's white gesso. Smack! So it's all dry now, and as you can see here, Mr. Chibi decided to jump right on top of this. Don't worry, I cleaned him up and he's fine. But here are the cookies. I'm gonna try to like space them where I want them to be. And maybe I'll paint a couple more cookies too. I'm gonna be using this acrylic aqua, acrylic gouache. Oh my gosh, more gouache. I think I might just cover the whole thing with this color because I like it, I think. Too soon to tell. It feels like it's a lot more watered down than the just plain gouache. And I don't really know what the difference between acrylic gouache is supposed to be and regular gouache and acrylic. I've never tried it before, but it definitely seems way more watered down than either acrylic and gouache. Well, so far, I'm not a huge fan of this. Maybe I'm using it wrong. Very streaky too. I'll pick it up so you guys can see what I mean. Maybe I should add the modeling paste into this to make it thicker on the next layer. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry, and then on my second layer, I think I'm gonna mix in the modeling paste to make it a little bit thicker, because I'm not too satisfied with how streaky it looks. I will say that this actually dried relatively quick. So that's one good thing it's got going for it, but other than that, I don't like it so far. But I could be using it wrong. Let me know if you know. And I turned off my light, so it might be a little bit dimmer than it was a minute ago. Because it was just reflecting everywhere. I can already tell I'm gonna need a lot more than what I mixed. Alright, I think that looks way better than what it did. So far I can say I'm a fan of the modeling paste. I don't really want too much of this color, but I'm gonna mix in the cool gray acrylic paint. Hopefully I don't ruin it by mixing two different-ish mediums, just to make it a little bit darker. Well, the gray seems to have devoured the other color. I'm gonna be using the round brush now. I'm gonna be eyeballing this, so it's probably gonna turn out wonky. But I basically just want to put like some dents, make it look like the plate is going inward. Have a little bit of a lip. Alright, I think I'm gonna add some more cookies. I'm gonna go back to our tub of gouache here. Seems to be the only thing, aside from the modeling paste, that I trust. I'm just gonna have this here for reference of size. And this gouache is amazing. I've only ever used other affordable gouaches like Michael's branding, like store brands, and they don't work like this. I know quality influences how things work, but I'm someone who didn't always have like enough money growing up, so I always go for the more affordable versions of things. I don't think Arteza is like a super expensive brand either, but I don't know, because I've only gotten one thing from them, being the advent calendar. And I also got a set of gouache, ironically, something I wanted to try out but didn't have enough time to yet. So now I kind of know that the gouache is probably gonna be nice when I do eventually get to try out the full set and not just one little tub. Mind you, I prefer to use my gouache without watering it down. I may change that based off of how the different quality of this gouache works, though. Probably should have done the shading before I painted all the cookies in. Alright, I'm scared to use the modeling paste with the paintbrush, but here we go. Doing it anyways. I just want like a thin-ish layer on it, but also still have that 3D effect. I have to be careful because the cookies are definitely not dry yet. And I'm actually going to use the modeling paste on the bottom of these to try to hold them onto the canvas. And if they don't end up sticking in the end, that'll be fine. I'll just use regular old glue. Probably should have painted the edges before I went ahead and put the cookies on, but here we are. Alright, I think I am now all done. It's still wet, so that's why I'm holding it kind of weird. I would say out of the Arteza stuff, I really like the gouache. Not so much the acrylic wash. It is a nice color though. I liked the acrylic paint too. But I gotta say, I think my favorite was the modeling paste. It thickened up the one paint that I thought was too thin, the acrylic wash. And also, like, makes a nice texture. And also, I'm still kind of salty about this little, like, the round canvas in the advent calendar. I wish I had gotten a stack of 4 or 3 or something in one slot and not 2 individual slots of these things, because they are not worth it in my opinion, but we made something cool out of them regardless. So this is gonna be my first day of 12 days of arts and coffee. I finished my coffee a long time ago because I've been working on this video for so long that I finished my coffee. There's a lot of dry times in between everything, which is what took forever, but I would say I'm definitely happy with it. That's gonna be it from me today. If you want to check out another cool video, you can go ahead and tap the video here. And if you want to catch up on anything you missed, you can go ahead and tap the video here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to do all the cool YouTube things of comment, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye!